This is Marvel's Spider-Man 2, running at 4x, 5x, and 6x multi-frame generation, using the DLSS Enabler Mod 4.5.3 on an RTX 3060 Ti 8GB. It looks way smoother, but what's the actual cost? Today, we're testing for graphical artifacts, input latency, and real-world fluidity at each multipliers. If you want to know which one is the true sweet spots for playable, here is the breakdown. If you followed my previous videos, you've done the installing and how to unlock frame generation before. But now we are using the new 4.5.3 version. This version can get access to higher multipliers like 5x and 6x for 30 series and 20 series GPUs, so even if you're a veteran, keep an eye out for these new installations. First, head over to Nexus Mods and search for the DLSS Enabler Mod. This mod supports a wide range of GPUs, including older Nvidia, AMD, and Intel cards. If you're using Nvidia GTX series or newer, including RTX 20 or 30 series, I recommend downloading DLSS Enabler version 4.5.3. If you're using an RTX 40 series GPU, you can try the newer DLSS Enabler Hybrid Frame Generation 4.6 version. It's mainly optimized for 40 series cards and improves visual quality and stability. Once you've downloaded the correct version, you'll also need to download Streamline SDK 2.11. This is required if you want to use higher multipliers like 5x and 6x, since DLSS Enabler depends on the latest Streamline version. You can find it on GitHub. I've added all download links in the description and pinned comment for your convenience. Now for the installation, extract the DLSS Enabler files into your Spider-Man 2 installation folder where the spiderman2.exe file is located. Then, extract the Streamline SDK 2.11 files into the same folder. Launch the game, and you'll now have access to frame generation. But keep in mind, this is still based on FSR3 frame generation, not native DLSS3 frame gen. Alright, once you're in the game, press the tilde key on your keyboard to open the DLSS Enabler Mod menu. First, navigate to the Statistics section and enable the overlay. You'll now see the DLSS Enabler info appear at the top middle of your screen. Next, look for the Ghostbusters setting. This feature is crucial because it helps prevent graphical artifacts like ghosting and visual glitches that often occur with frame generation. Keep in mind that effectiveness will vary depending on the game engine. Finally, navigate to the MFG's multi-frame generation option. Click that, and you'll be able to select your desired multiplier choosing from 3x, 4x, 5x, or even 6x. And that's it. Those are all the steps you need to unlock and configure your frame generation multipliers. Alright, now let's get back to frame generation testing. First, let me show you which graphics settings I'm used in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Upscaling, I'm using the DLSS override feature in the Nvidia app, set to recommended mode. Before we dive into the benchmarks, I need to be transparent about the limitations. Since we are running this on an RTX 20 or 30 series card, we are relying on a software-based implementation of FSR3 frame generation. Unlike the RTX 40 series, our cards lack the dedicated hardware, optical flows accelerators required for native DLSS 3. This means that, even with settings like Ghostbusters enabled, you will encounter artifacts, specifically ghosting or shadow glitches, during fast motion. However, on the positive side, the motion smoothness and latency improvements are incredibly close to native DLSS 3. It's an impressive trade-off for us budget-conscious users, but it is a trade-off nonetheless. Now, let's see how it actually looks in comparison. Now, let's compare the 4x, 5x, and 6x multipliers to see where the artifacts start to creep in. To truly see how these multipliers handle motion, I've slowed the footage down to 50%. Initially, during the image quality felt still better, and I didn't notice any major issues. However, to be absolutely thorough, I slowed the footage down to 25% speed for a frame-by-frame inspection. Right here, you can clearly see significant visual distortion around the character's outlines. and image quality get worse on the 6x multiplier, it is definitely more noticeable compared to the native image. But compared to the 4x multiplier, both 5x and 6x produce significantly more artifacts. That is my conclusion based on first tests, but try it for yourself. Take a look at each multiplier's behaviors and let me know in the comments below which multiplier you think offers the best experience. Here are the input latency results for the 4x, 5x, and 6x multipliers. You'll notice that even when pushing to those higher multipliers, my latency remains stable in the 40 to 50 millisecond range because my base frames hang with 50 and a 40 range. This is a significant improvement over previous versions, where higher multipliers often caused a massive spike in delay. While this optimization makes it much more worth it to try, for immersive single-player titles, this new version offers a fantastic ultra-smooth experience. I've included a few more comparison scenes to check visual artifacts and latency. So stick around and watch closely. This should give you a much better feel for how these multipliers perform in different scenarios. To wrap things up, these are my findings using the 4x, 5x, and 6x frame gen multipliers in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Compared to my previous test, the behavior of the graphical artifacts is consistent. I'm seeing similar shadow glitching to what we experienced in Cyberpunk 2077. However, the smoothness and input latency feel significantly improved in this version. That is because I spent time optimizing my graphics settings to ensure a strong, stable base frame rate. That, ultimately, is the secret to a great result. Here is my final recommendation. If you are on a budget build and want to use these higher multipliers, prioritize your raw performance first. If you can hit a stable 45 to 50 FPS baseline, you will get a much better result, even when using the 6x multiplier. If the latency at 6x feels uncomfortable, don't hesitate to dial it back to 3x or 4x. You'll maintain that same smooth feel while drastically reducing those visual artifacts. Try these settings out for yourself and let me know your results in the comments. I'm curious to see how your specific hardware handles it. So if you learned something new today, thumbs up and share with your friends. And if you want to see more performance deep dives, make sure to subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next tutorial. Have a great day!